I'm James Swanwick. Welcome to the Alcohol-Free Lifestyle Podcast, where you learn to live a life of health, wealth, love, and happiness. Investing in coaching and mentors has really propelled me along in my health, wealth, love, and happiness. My first big significant investment in coaching and mentors was all the way back in 2013 when I invested $25,000 in mentorship from Lopez, whose videos you would have seen in the last couple of days. Well, this is part 3 of that 3-part series where I specifically asked Ty to give me his thoughts on how he's seen me develop over the years after I initially paid him all of that money. The reality is you wouldn't be watching me right now in this video if I hadn't have invested that money in mentorship with Ty. A mentor cuts the learning curve. A mentor speeds things up. A mentor gives you a roadmap. So at our annual AFL Live event in Sedona, Arizona, in front of 30 of our Project 90, Beyond 90 and leadership clients, I asked Ty for his thoughts on how he's seen me develop over the years and talk to the concept of buying happiness, speeding up the process. So enjoy this final part in this 3-part series with Ty Lopez. So Ty, a lot of my clients here always ask me, how did you start this business? And I go back to 2013 when I hired you as a mentor, and then I started the 30-day no alcohol challenge in 2015. I was just wondering if you might share what you recall of your experience with me as a student of yours and the iteration of the 30-day no alcohol challenge, because all the people in this room are here because, in part, because I hired a mentor, namely you, and then I started a business, which at the time was just this little 30-day no alcohol challenge, which was $67. And now, 8 years later, all of these fine folks are in the room and living an alcohol-free lifestyle. And they tell me certainly that they're living what you always refer to as the good life. They've reduced stress, they've reduced anxiety, they have a much more positive mindset. So I'm curious if you can just look back to those years and maybe just share any anecdotes or any thoughts on that.
Well, I think, James took a big step back in 2013. I had a mastermind. It was $25,000. Back then, not many people were doing that. And I like to put a high price on stuff because I've always found people signal. You signal your reality too. So it's like when you give to charity, let's say you give $10,000 to charity and that's a lot of money for you, you're signaling to the universe that money is abundant. Right? So all of a sudden the universe renders a world where money's abundant. A lot. That's why if you look at the wealthiest people in the world, they're all big on charity. It's crazy. I remember when Bill Gates gave away $1 trillion worth of stock, his net worth dropped, and I watched it in 1 month pop back up to like the 3rd richest man in the world after he gave away most of his wealth. So you can hate on Bill Gates like my mom, but the man knows some of the universe's rules. And so when I was like, yo, it's 25 grand to have 12 phone calls with me, I remember you were a little worried. You're like, are you sure it's going to be worth it? But you took a step of faith and you signaled to the universe that money was abundant. And I'm proud of you. Look at where you are now. You got multiple businesses, and not only you have businesses, but you have businesses that are actually worthwhile and help the world. You didn't start the next Coca-Cola that just starts diabetes. So yeah, you all should signal with your time, money, and energy that the world is abundant and the world comes back to you, So that's something I remember that you did. And most people are cheap, man. I saw a guy, really interesting, kind of controversial guy. He said something that at first sounds wrong, but then I realized it was right. He said, use money to buy happiness. He didn't mean literally. So that's a crazy saying. What he meant was, I'll give you an example. You can't technically buy health, right? You can't just go, my body's unhealthy. Here's 100 grand, swap bodies out. What you can do though, is hire a chef that cooks healthy food for you. You can hire a personal trainer that's better, that's good at motivating you, So money doesn't guarantee health, but it can help. Money doesn't guarantee love, but if you have no money, you have no time to search. So one thing James did was he bought time by paying me 25 grand back then. Instead of having to learn some of that stuff that would have taken him 2 or 3 years, he sped up time. So a lot of it, that's why I say I buy books. I buy a couple $100 a day, sometimes, of books. people are like, you're spending $5,000 a month. I'm like, it speeds up. Time. Maybe I shouldn't say time's finite because now they think time doesn't exist. But I like to cut the learning curve. So you cut the learning curve and it worked for you. And I've seen that from a lot of people. So congrats, James.
Thank you, Ty. Thank you very much. Everyone, can we just say thank you to Ty?
Thank you all. And I'm sure you'll learn a lot from James. I'm in Copenhagen. It's rainy today. It's warm there in Arizona, isn't it? Or is it cold?
Cold but sunny today. Yeah.
Yeah, it ain't colder than here. You know what an Amish guy told me? Never complain about the weather, because when you complain about things you can't control, you hardwire your brain incorrectly. So just complain about all stuff you can fix. Everything out that's outside of your control, roll with it. So I've had to be like, okay, I love Copenhagen weather. See you all. Bye.
Thank you, Ty. Thank you, Ty.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Thanks, mate. Bye. Hi, this is James Swanwick, and we're taking applications for our 90-day and 1-year stop drinking programs. Clients are mostly executives, entrepreneurs, and investors who have tried unsuccessfully and repeatedly to stop drinking but remain stuck in a frustrating cycle of stop-start. Our programs are not AA, which has a reported 7% success rate. Our programs are not rehab, which has a reported 6% success rate. Our 90-day and 1-year programs involve a safe, fun, virtual community of high achievers with a process that boasts an incredible 92% success rate of clients reaching at least 90 consecutive days alcohol-free. We use the latest neuroscience and personal development processes to help rewire clients' brains around alcohol and minimize its importance in their lives. We will show you how to powerfully socialize with friends, family, and colleagues, what to say and how to say it so people don't mistakenly think that you're an alcoholic or have a problem, and how to eliminate the temptation of returning to constant drinking so you can finally break the stop-start cycle. To ensure client success, Project 90 can only accept 15 new clients each month. Some of those happy clients include John Keltner from California, who said, "I've lost 10 pounds." Susie Vaughn, a real estate broker in Tennessee, who said, "I've generated 20% more leads." Jessica Gaines-Jarbo from Kentucky, who says, "I've now got joy, focus, presence, and clarity." And Joe Worley from Michigan, who says, "My wife has the real Joe back." If you're an executive, entrepreneur, or investor who's sick of the stop-start cycle and the damaging effects alcohol has on your health, happiness, and family, and you're ready to regain confidence, become more present with your spouse and children, reduce stress, anxiety, and irritability, sleep better, increase focus and productivity, and feel better quickly, you're invited to apply to become a Project 90 client. Applicants can apply for an introductory interview by visiting alcoholfreelifestyle.com/project90. There's a link in the show notes which you can just click, but that link is alcoholfreelifestyle.com/project90. Application interviews are limited and are conducted on a first-come, first-served basis. If there are no remaining interview times available, wait a few weeks and try again.